Isabella was a very beautiful woman, always in her makeup 24 hours. Wherever she appeared, her eyes lingered. Men showered her with roses, lavish presents, and vows of undying devotion. Yet Isabella chose her suitors with ruthless care, testing them until they revealed their true colors. One persistent admirer whisked her away to a candlelit dinner. That evening, she feigned exhaustion and drifted off with her full face of makeup intact. In the morning, he chuckled and said, "You look far more stunning without all those layers on your face. Let me see the real you." "I want to see your natural face," Isabella offered a tight smile. But her decision was made. She ghosted him forever. She don't need anyone to disturb her. There were some men who pleaded to her, "Show me your face without the makeup." The moment those words left their lips, Isabella's interest vanished. No one would ever glimpse her bare skin. To the world, she seemed vain, perhaps arrogant. But her makeup was far more than vanity. It was her armor, her fortress against a cruel truth. Her vanity table resembled a sacred altar, rows of foundations, blushes, eyeliners, and lip colors arranged like jewels under a glowing light. Each dawn and dusk, she performed her ritual with precision, layering perfection onto her face. She wore it to the market, to bed, even through fevers, demanding a mirror and compact before visitors entered her room. Without it, Isabella believed her true face didn't belong in this world. It was erased, non-existent. In quiet moments, she gazed into the mirror, tracing her flawless contours, her radiant glow. "This is me," she would whisper to her reflection. "This is what they adore. Strip it away and I am nothing." Her friends teased her mercilessly. "One day, they will bury you without your makeup perfectly applied." Isabella laughed along, but terror gripped her heart at the thought of anyone seeing beneath the mask. Her beauty was her weapon, her deception, her very existence. Then came Elias. He was different, older, steady, with a quiet depth that drew her in. No extravagant gifts or flowery declarations from him. Instead, he truly listened, probing her thoughts, her ambitions, valuing her mind over her allure. He never pawed at her face or demanded to see her natural. He simply took her hand, shared stories of dreams and futures, speaking of a life built on trust and companionship. For the first time, Isabella felt truly seen, or so she believed. With Elias, her guard lowered. "He's the one who accepts me completely," she thought. Love blossomed, deep and genuine. Months passed in bliss. Serene dinners, moonlight strolls, endless conversation under stylish skies. Elias never pressured her, never questioned her rituals. Isabella was certain she found her forever. When he proposed, her yes came without hesitation. Their wedding was a spectacle of joy. Music echoing through a grand hall. Guests marveling at Isabella's beauty. "She's flawless," they whispered. Elias beamed with pride, holding her as if she were fragile. Vows exchanged, rings slipped on, cheers erupted. As night fell and guests departed, the newlyweds returned to their bridal suits, aglow with candles and promise. Elias, brimming with happiness, swept her into his arms, laughing as he carried her thread-shod world. Isabella smiled, but instinctively turned her face away from his nearing kisses, a lifelong habit. He didn't notice, too lost in ecstasy. At last, "My love," he murmured, "nothing else matters tonight than you." Then disaster struck. His foot caught on the trailing hem of her gown. He stumbled, crashing against the sharp corner of the bed frame. A sickening thud echoed as he crumbled to the floor unconscious. Isabella's world shattered. She collapsed beside him, panicking. Tears streamed down her face, filled with foundation and mascara. She cradled his head, pressing against the wound, sobbing. "Elias, wake up, please. Please don't leave me here in this condition. I love you so much." For the first time in decades, her mask forgotten in terror. All that mattered was him. A groan escaped his lips. His eyes fluttered open. Relief flooded her as she leaned close. But Elias' gaze shifted from warmth to wide-eyed horror. "Isabella," he rasped. "What? What had happened to your face?" He touched her cheek, wet, uneven, the smooth illusion cracking away. Powder dissolved, revealing dry, shrinked skin beneath. Elias stayed, amazed as most streaks exposed the truth. Deep wrinkles, very weak, old and feeble face stared at him. "You are an old woman," he screamed. "How old are you truly?" Isabella covered her face, wailing in despair. He struggled upright, backing against the wall, chest heaving. The vibrant young bride vanished before his very eyes, replaced by a woman far older than anyone he would ever imagine. A very old woman. "No, this isn't real," he whispered, inching towards the door. "This can't be my wife." She crawled after him, clutching his leg. "Please, Elias, don't go. I can explain. I'm still me, the woman you fell in love with." But his expression twisted in revulsion and betrayal. "What sorcery is this? You deceived me?" Sobs rocking her. Isabella confessed through tears. "It began when I was 35. My fiancé abandoned me for a younger bride. The pain nearly destroyed me. One desperate night, wandering in anguish, I encountered an old crone, a witch. She pitied my heartbreak and offered me an enchanted cream. 'Apply this and eternal youth will be yours. No man will ever leave you for fading beauty again.' But there was a price. Never shed tears for any soul, or the magic breaks forever." Elias listened in stunned silence. "Foolishly, I accepted. Men adored me for decades. They aged, withered, died, while I remained untouched. I dated them, savoring their devotion, watching them fade as revenge for my past hurts. But with you, I truly loved. You were different. She touched her crumbling cheek. Until tonight, my tears for you shattered the spell. I'm over a century old, she whispered. The room fell quiet. She said it again. I'm over a century old, she whispered. Elias lifted his hand, staggering to the door. You lied. Hid this monstrosity. I married an illusion. Isabella pleaded, voice breaking. I was terrified because of rejection and loneliness. Please stay. You are all I have. But as her tears flowed anew, the coils accelerated. Skin sagged deeper. Hair grayed and fell. Bones creaked as years, centuries reclaimed her in a moment. She aged rapidly before his horrified eyes, collapsing into a withered husk. I only wanted love. I am tired of being single. To never be alone because I have faced rejection severally. The room grew cold. Finally, Isabel collapsed to the floor, her face like that of an old woman, her body trembling, her voice had dried. Then she lay still. Elias stood frozen, staring at the lifeless aged body of the woman who had once looked like a goddess. The wife, he thought, he knew, was gone. Their wedding that began as a dream ended in silence, tragedy, and shadows. Their dream wedding dissolved into nightmare, betrayal, horror, irreversible loss. Not everything that glitters is truly gold. Isabella's flawless face concealed a tormented soul, and when her veil shattered, it claimed her life along with the love she desperately craved for. Here are the most important moral lessons from this story. 1. True love accepts you as you are without deception. Isabella's entire life was built on beautiful lie. She hid her true self out of fear of rejection, but in the end, that deception destroyed the one genuine love she had found. Real relationships cannot survive on illusions. Honesty about who we are is the foundation of a lasting love and relationship. 2. Beauty is fleeting, but clinging to it at any cost leads to tragedy. Isabella sacrificed everything for eternal youth, even masking a pact with dark magic. Her obsession with outward perfection blinded her to the natural passage of time and the deeper value of authenticity. The story warns that chasing superficial beauty through unnatural or desperate means ultimately costs far more than it gives. 3. Fear of loneliness can drive us to destroy ourselves. Isabella's deepest terror was being abandoned and alone, a pain born from a past heartbreak. That fear led her to manipulate, deceive, and even take a witch's curse. Choices that isolated her even more in the end. The tragedy shows that running from vulnerability often create the very loneliness we dread the most. These lessons reminded us that what truly matters in life is not a perfect mask, but the courage to live and love without anyone.